Admire the immortal Emperor for his sacrifice to mankind. Honor the immortal Emperor for his eternal strength. Praise the immortal Emperor for his unending rule. I offer my life to the Emperor. I pray that he accepts it. I rise amidst the golden dunes and beneath the harsh winds of the desert with my brothers and sisters, emboldened and strengthened in their faith and power by the Emperor's prayer, as today his will be done and his enemies fall. My name is Sergeant Ali Saad, and I lead the freshly named Vilgus Vipers Recon Squad. We were tasked with reconnaissance of the Orc Scrap Ford, located deep in the Vilgus Wastes, south of the Silted River. Our mission was to attack and sabotage, weaken the fort, gather intelligence, and eradicate any Orc forces to launch a counterattack. As we lifted our temporal battle camp, I could hear the static of the Vox as our superior officer, Captain Khalid, briefed us on the plan. "Alright, everyone listen up," he said. "Our objective is to weaken the scrap fort and take out any Orcs that get in our way before the main combined attack force arrives, as their mission is a wider one. We've got air support, but we need to move quickly before they mobilize and the sandstorm will not last much longer. May the Emperor's light be with you." I gave the signal to my squad and we mounted our Lehman Russ tanks. We drove through the rocky terrain, weaving in and out of natural obstacles to avoid detection and in a single column to avoid giving away our position. From afar, it will look like another part of the sandstorm. The air support kept a watchful eye on us from above, scanning the area for any potential threats with orbital auspex. As we approached the scrap fort, I ordered my squad to dismount and spread out to form a perimeter. The fort was heavily guarded, and we could see the Orcs' war boys patrolling the walls with their crude weapons at the ready. These greenskins are dangerous, but they can bleed. This I know, as I've sworn eternal vengeance against these beasts as they have taken my brothers before. A debt must be repaid. I took a deep breath and reminded myself of the Emperor's teachings. I knew that I had a duty to protect humanity from these vile Xenons. I signaled to my squad on the Vox to open fire and said, "Maximum potency, pick targets, headshots only. All fire in 3, 2, 1, fire!" And we unleashed a hail of lasgun fire on the Orc guards, and some fell outside the walls. The remaining Orcs that went up the wall to see responded with their own barrage of bullets, but they fired into the sandstorm, the only thing they could see. But we are well trained and well equipped, and they couldn't see us. We ducked and weaved between cover, returning fire and taking out the Orcs one by one. There were many holes in the scrap wall made. There was one right before us. We are in. As we breached the scrap fort's walls to a gruesome scene, dead bodies of my regimental brothers hanging on the walls, heads on spikes. We found ourselves face to face with the Orc war boss of this camp, standing right in the middle of it, and all the other Orcs beside him. Did he know we were coming? He was 3 times our size, and his weapon looked more deadly than anything we had ever encountered. A huge and strange gun, and a machete welded to his arm so big it dragged on the ground. I knew that we were in for a tough fight. The war boss screamed a challenge. "Come here, you slimy git! I'll eat you as I eat your brothers, unless you're scared." And I accepted it. I quickly pressed the combined buttons on my Vox to signal for help in a second. Then I charged towards him, my las pistol firing on my left hand and my knife on the other. The war boss swung his massive machete, but I was able to dodge it and land a blow with my knife on his elbow joint. The fight was intense all around me, my brothers and sisters fighting all the Orcs around and taking shots at the boss. I kept shooting and cutting, moving in and out of the beast range, and I could feel my muscles straining against the war boss's strength. But I was determined to protect my people and fulfill my mission. I got shot. A huge round punched my left shoulder. The pain all over my body I can feel. Just one more move. If I die, I take you with me, you unholy abomination. I jump and plunge my combat knife deep into the war boss's chest, and he fell to the ground, dead. I kept stabbing desperately at the neck, filled with rage. "Sergeant, my soldiers, take me away." Put explosives on the wall, set plasma grenade traps at the entry points, put the incendiary bomb trap beneath the boss. They will come back, collect our dead and wounded. We get out on the same entry point. We had done it. We had captured the scrap fort and secured the victory for the Imperium. As we made our way back to our base, I felt a sense of pride in my heart. I knew that the Emperor was watching over us, guiding us to victory. As I looked back at the scrap fort, I felt a sense of satisfaction. We had accomplished our mission, and the Orcs had been dealt a decisive blow. The Emperor had guided us through the fight, and I knew that we had made him proud. In the blistering heart of the desert, amongst the sulphurous sands, tribes of fierce warriors roam the scorching dunes. They are the Tallarn Desert Raiders, valiant men and women, feared by any and all enemies of the Imperium, and revered by their allies. Their expertise in guerrilla warfare, armoured combat, and hit-and-run tactics are unmatched, making them a force to be reckoned with on every battle zone of the Warhammer 40k universe. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the history, origins, training, combat doctrines, tactics and strategy, and of course, the overall importance of the Tallarn Desert Raiders. Get ready to embark on a journey through the unforgiving terrain of the deserts and witness the raw power of one of the most committed, dangerous, and loyal Astra Militarum regiments. Join us as we delve into the world of these desert warriors and discover what makes them one of the most reliable and effective fighting forces in the galaxy. The Tallarn Desert Raiders are an intriguing and unique regiment of the Astra Militarum, known for their highly skilled mobile and desert warfare tactics. However, the origin of this regiment is just as fascinating. Once a verdant agri-world, Tallarn was devastated by the Iron Warriors' traitor legion during the Horus Heresy. The traitor Astaris unleashed virus bombs on the world's surface, scouring it of almost all life and leaving only a few pockets of survivors in subterranean bunker shelters. The Iron Warriors then claimed and fortified the poisoned world as one of their countless citadels. The survivors, who braved the surface in armoured vehicles to protect themselves from the virus-infested air, fiercely resisted the Iron Warriors. This sparked the Battle of Tallarn, which remains to this day the single biggest tank war in the history of the Imperium of Man. The Tallarn people could not hope to face the traitor Astaris in open battle, as the one-on-one advantages of an Astari are almost insurmountable. So they quickly mastered guerrilla warfare strategies to hit hard and disappear, vanishing beneath the sands after each fight and engaging in another elsewhere. In time, the Iron Warriors withdrew from the world that had been so costly to them, and the people of Tallarn were given the opportunity to rebuild. The people of Tallarn constructed tall vapor traps to gather the vital moisture from the skies above and expanded their subterranean homes with tunnels, caverns, and surface domes to protect themselves from deadly sandstorms and extreme conditions. For millennia, the world of Tallarn has remained this way, with dunes of sulphurous sand, sun-scorched plains, and plains of wind-scoured rock. With so little to offer the Imperium's tithe collectors that are always very extreme to planets in need of supplies, the Tallarn people could only give its valuable soldiers. The Tallarn people are skilled in fighting across open ground with high mobility and adaptability, and in narrow tunnels alike, as their daily lives in underground cities has led to the development of tunnel warfare, and the Tallarn regiments favour the hit-and-run guerrilla tactics mastered by their ancestors during the Horus Heresy against the traitor Iron Guard Space Marines. This is why the most common Tallarn regiments are infantry, Rough Rider cavalry, and for the most part armoured tank regiments, all of which focus on some particular element of the favoured strategies of the Tallarn. Tallarn forces are often willful and independent, not very well trained to standing in static battle lines or holding fortifications, as these are not the nature of their origin and training. They are often employed as vanguard units and reconnaissance forces, or also as the spearhead of a concerted attack to break enemy lines and fortifications, where their speed and stealth are of the greatest use. The origin of the Tallarn Desert Raiders is a testament to their resilience and resourcefulness of the human spirit in the face of devastation, and a reminder of the unique hardened people with skills and tactics that can only be developed in the harshest of environments. Throughout their long history, the Tallarn Desert Raiders have faced countless challenges and fought in numerous conflicts. One of the earliest recorded instances of the Desert Raiders in battle occurred during the Age of Strife, a time of great turmoil and upheaval in the galaxy. The Tallarn people faced countless dangers during this period, including raids from marauding orcs and bands of mutants. The Raiders fought valiantly to protect their people, relying on their skill in mobile combat and their intimate knowledge of the harsh desert terrain so to ambush, attack, sabotage and destroy the invaders. In the years that followed, the Tallarn Desert Raiders became a significant force in the region, known for their unparalleled skill in mounted warfare. They faced off against many powerful enemies, including the forces of the dreaded Chaos Space Marine Traitor Legion of the Iron Warriors. During the dark times of the Horus Heresy, the Tallarn Desert Raiders played a pivotal role in the defense of the Imperium of Man. They fought fiercely against the traitorous forces of Warmaster Horus, even as the planet of Tallarn was devastated by massive conflict, known simply as the Battle of Tallarn. The Tallarn Desert Raiders also played a key role in the Imperium's efforts to reclaim lost worlds during the Great Crusade. They fought in many battles, including the infamous Battle of Gathalamor, where they faced off against a massive orc horde. The Raiders' expertise in mobile combat proved invaluable in this conflict, as they were able to outmaneuver the orcs and strike at vulnerable points in their lines. In the centuries that followed, the Tallarn Desert Raiders continued to be a formidable fighting force, participating in numerous campaigns and battles. They also faced many challenges and setbacks, including a devastating raid by the Eldar that left many of their warriors dead or captured. Despite these setbacks, the Raiders preserved and remained a vital part of the Imperium's defences. Today, the Tallarn Desert Raiders remain one of the most revered fighting forces in the galaxy. They continue to defend the Imperium of Man, relying on their unmatched skill in mobile combat and their unwavering determination to protect their people and their way of life. To become a Tallarn Desert Raider, recruits undergo a vigorous training program that is designed to emphasize mobility, speed, and adaptability. The Raiders are skilled in mounted and dismounted combat, and their weapon of choice is a lance, a weapon that they wield with deadly precision from horseback. This is of course part of the ancient Tallarn tradition, as military tradition continues with new weapons. This way, besides the scarcely utilized horseback units, mounted means armoured units, tanks. After basic training on infantry, they will be trained in armoured warfare, the technicals and functions of every single part of the tanks and sentinel battle vehicle, as these will be their most likely posts. They are also skilled in the use of Imperial issued weapons, including the iconic Tallarn pattern lasgun, a weapon that is perfectly suited to the desert environment, the M36 lasgun. One of the most intriguing and unique aspects of the Tallarn Desert Raiders is their hit-and-run tactics. The Raiders are experts at striking quickly and then retreating before the enemy can respond. They use their speed and mobility to outmaneuver their opponents, striking at vulnerable points in their lines and then vanishing into the desert sands. These tactics have earned the Raiders a fearsome reputation and have made them a formidable force on the battlefield. The Raiders also have a deep understanding of the desert terrain, which is vital to their success in battle. They know how to use the natural features of the landscape to their advantage, and they are skilled at navigating through sandstorms and other harsh conditions. The Tallarn Desert Raiders have a unique combat doctrine that is designed to make the most of their strengths as a mobile, fast-moving force. Known for their hit-and-run tactics, the Raiders operate in small, highly mobile units, with each Raider serving as both a skilled tank crewman and a lethal infantry combatant. The Tallarn Desert Raiders' combat doctrine is built around the idea of overwhelming their opponents through speed, surprise, and lethality. Their goal is to strike quickly and decisively, and then retreat before the enemy can respond. This requires a high degree of skill and coordination, and the Riders' training and techniques are geared towards achieving this goal. One key element of the regimental combat doctrine is the use of scouts and reconnaissance units. These are typically mounted on swift and nimble sand speeders, which are able to cover vast distances quickly and provide critical intelligence on enemy positions and movements. This intelligence is then used to plan coordinated strikes against vulnerable targets. Another important element of the regimental combat doctrine is the use of combined arms tactics. The Tallarn Desert Raiders are skilled in the use of a variety of weapons, including close-quarter weapons like spears, swords, and firearms, and they will often combine these weapons in coordinated attacks. This allows them to attack from multiple angles and overwhelm their opponents with a variety of firepower. Finally, the regimental combat doctrine places a strong emphasis on individual initiative and adaptability. The Riders are trained to think on their feet and respond quickly to changing conditions on the battlefield. This allows them to take advantage of unexpected opportunities and adjust their tactics to overcome new challenges. Overall, the regimental combat doctrine of the Tallarn Desert Raiders is a highly mobile and adaptable approach to warfare. By relying on speed, surprise, and coordinated strikes, the Riders are able to overcome even larger and better equipped opponents, making them one of the most formidable fighting forces in the galaxy. In the vast expanse of the Imperium, the Tallarn Desert Raiders stand as a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of humanity. Hailing from the radioactive, arid world of Tallarn, these warriors are well versed in the art of desert warfare, having developed their own unique style of combat that has served them well in the unforgiving wastelands of their home planet. At the heart of their arsenal lies the M36 pattern lasgun, a versatile weapon that can be produced in countless variations to suit the needs of its wielder. The Tallarn Desert Raiders have their own variant of this iconic weapon, featuring a longer barrel for better accuracy and a more fluid operational design to prevent sand and other environmental causes from damaging its delicate mechanism. The object of this is to make the weapon more resilient to the combat zone environment, to stop it from jamming and malfunctioning in the battle. This, coupled with powerful charge packs that provide enough energy for a full clip, the M36 pattern lasgun is a deadly weapon in the hands of a skilled marksman. For close quarters combat, the Tallarn Raiders have been blessed with Mono Knife, a specially fashioned long combat knife with a detailed blade, as it is said it is only a single molecule thick along the edge. The Karlig, as it is known on Tallarn, is a distinctive curved knife that comes in many shapes and sizes and is carried by all members of the regiment. The Karlig is not only a formidable weapon, capable of cutting through combat armor like butter, but also a versatile tool that can be used for a variety of tasks in the harsh desert environment and adaptable to any situation. In addition to their weaponry, the Tallarn Raiders are also known for their distinctive uniforms, consisting of a hard-wearing desert smock, linen undershirt, combat trousers, heavyweight marching boots, and leg bindings. The Shema, a traditional headscarf worn by the people of Tallarn and most people in other Imperial planets with big deserts, provides protection against the twin sun's rays and doubles as a dust mask to prevent inhaling sand and dust during sandstorms. Despite their formidable equipment and training, the Tallarn Raiders are always prepared for the worst. Frag grenades and smoke grenades are standard issue, providing the regiment with potent anti-personnel and obscuring capabilities when the situation demands it. Overall, the Tallarn regiments are a force to be reckoned with in the Warhammer 40k universe. Their unique combat style, coupled with their distinctive equipment and uniforms, has made them a fan favourite among players and fans alike. Whether you're facing off against the Desert Raiders, the Sons of the Desert, or the Sand Vipers, you can be sure that the Tallarn regiments will put up a fierce fight and win. Thank you for being here, friends. If you enjoy these stories and lore expositions, please subscribe for more, and may the bright light of the Emperor guide you.